My name is Cynthia Bowser. I'm a lifelong Stamford resident. I've lived on the west side all my life, from Ann Street to Rose Park Avenue. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm a member of the Stamford branch of the NAACP, and I happen to be chairperson of the Criminal Justice Committee. I am very concerned about the quality of life for all Stamford residents. As I said, I've lived on the west side all my life. I've had fond memories of the west side. And I remember the days in which politicians walked the community and listened to the voices of the people in the community. That is one of the reasons why I got onto the Charter Revision Commission. I applied for that spot because I remember the devastation that urban redevelopment and urban renewal, URC, caused to the West Side and residents of the West Side and other areas of the city as well. Um, West Main Street used to be a vibrant retail area where we had a number of Black American businesses operated by Blacks who migrated to Stamford from the South. If you come on to the West Side today, you would never think that ever existed. I am not against progress. I am not against development. I'm looking for mutual, equitable opportunities and services for all residents of the city of Stamford. I think that we need to do honest development that positively affects the lives of people who've lived in Stamford all of their life, as well as positively affects newcomers who come into the city. It seems since urban redevelopment, the city has really paid more attention to newcomers over the concerns of long-term residents, not addressing the needs of deeply affordable and affordable housing, not looking to really provide diverse opportunities for deeply affordable and affordable renter and home ownership. But key to that too is just the quality of life for everyone who lives in the city. I'm concerned about students in the school buses, the congestion of the roadways, the difficulties the school buses have getting through the city in the morning. But most importantly, I'm concerned that low to moderate income children in the city of Stamford, especially those who live on the west side, do not get quality educational opportunities, and that the bus is a deterrent rather than an asset. And we need community schools to return. We need Stevens School or a school in that area to return to provide elementary education on the west side, where the largest number of children are located in the city, to my understanding. Stamford is a wonderful city. It can be, but it's a tale of two cities. It's a city if you have good income, assets, and you have a lovely address, it appears that the government works for you. If you live in a low to moderate income area, it doesn't seem that the people who serves on boards think that they need to listen to you. It seems that people have the privilege to stay on boards way past the time in which they should, and so that we get stagnant representation. We're not really receiving the input from all facets of the community. You can't go into the west side and populate it with all low to moderate income housing and not come into the community and talk to people about how they feel about it or what other benefits and services are necessary. I can't speak about any other section of the city. And other people who live throughout the city should be able to speak about that and should be able to get the kind of services and opportunities and programs that they want. Once I learned that the Charter Revision Commission was looking for people to apply for the opportunity to provide community service in terms of looking at the charter, which is equivalent to the city of Stamford's constitution and what runs local government, I put in an application. I put in my resume. After the resume was submitted, I went through an interview process. I believe that interview process is open for anyone who may want to listen to it. During the interview process, I pretty much stated pretty much what I've said today, that I want Stamford to be a city that provides equitable opportunities and services for all residents, not for some. There seems to be a privileged few who have historical uh, opportunities that have not been given or provided to others. So it was a lengthy, I thought, interview process. There was nothing, I think, in terms of the questions that made me feel that I was being chosen any kind of favor whatsoever. In listening to the other interviewees, I think that we were all pretty much interviewed in the same way. And I thought that because I lived on the West Side, I'm a lifelong resident of Stamford. I'm a product of the Stamford Public School System. I graduated from Eastern Connecticut State University. I received my master's degree from the University of Connecticut School of Social Work. The majority of my work throughout my lifetime has been in Connecticut. The last 25 years of that were based in the town of Greenwich. I worked for the town of Greenwich for over 28 years at the Department of Human Services in Greenwich. So I've always been a person who's been very, very concerned about people. I grew up at a time in which I said before, we had local political group on the West Side. We had my girlfriend's mother was very, very active in politics. I remember going out and canvassing. We worked for the Urban League as adolescents, and we did voter registration. We went and knocked on doors to remind people about the importance to vote. So I've always grown up under civic participation, and people need to understand that your power is your vote. The vote is your voice. And it doesn't seem at this particular point in time that the people who have been voted in are listening to the voices of the city of Stamford. And all I'm asking is that there are measures that allow all people in the city of Stamford to be able to articulate what their concerns are, regardless of income, address, and assets. I, Cynthia Bouncer, not representing any organization at this particular time, freely make this statement that I am voting yes for the charter due to the process that we went through, listening and learning from one another, coming together to put forth suggestions to make Stamford a more equitable city that works equally for all residents in the city, not for just some, but for all. So that's why I'm voting yes. Vote yes, because you and me should decide the future of Stamford and not special interests.